أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. We give thanks to Almighty Allah. We bear witness to His oneness and we testify to the messenger and Prophet of Muhammad. Today we are looking on this channel Islamic Finance Moment. We are looking at Islamic finance. What does it mean? And this is going to be a series which shall be coming your way from time to time. At its core, Islamic finance is a way of managing money and doing business while adhering to moral principles of Sharia or the Islamic law. But don't let that intimidate you. These principles are surprisingly universal. The Bank of England puts it simply, Islamic finance is based on the belief that money should not have any value and in and of itself. It's just a way to exchange products and services that do have value. In other words, you should not be able to simply make money from money. And thinking about that for a moment, in a conventional finance, lending money and charging interest is the foundation of the entire system. In Islamic finance, that's fundamentally prohibited. Islamic finance rests on several core principles that distinguish it from conventional finance. The first one is risk sharing. Wherever possible, profit and risk should be shared. This can be between two individuals and individual and a business or business partnering together. You are not just a borrower, you are a partner. The second principle is that the transaction must be asset backed. What that means is that every transaction, every financial transaction must be grounded in real productive economic activity. You can't trade in debt, speculative or derivatives, or engage in transactions that are purely monetary or speculative. The third principle is that it must be ethical. The transaction must be, if you are in getting involved in any investment, the investment must be ethical. Money should not cause harm. Islamic financial services do not invest in things like alcohol, tobacco, gambling, or weapons. Uh, the fourth principle is social justice. The system emphasizes balance between for profit activities and social good, justice, tolerance, and risk sharing. Now, who is it for? Who is Islamic finance for? Here is something that surprises many people. Islamic finance is not just for Muslims. Ah, anyone can use Islamic finance, products and services. In fact, Islamic finance is attracting growing interest from non-Muslim markets seeking ethical, resilient, and values-based financial solutions. Why? Because the principles, fairness, transparency, ethical investing, risk sharing are values that resonate across cultures and faiths. Today, there are over 1,000 Islamic financial institutions, including banks, takaful companies, and capital market entities operating in more than 20 countries. And the industry is expanding into new markets across Africa, Europe, and beyond. So, what is the Sharia compliance framework? How do we know if a financial product is truly Islamic? How? How do we know that? For us, every Islamic financial institution must have a Sharia supervisory board, a group of qualified Islamic scholars who review and approve all products and transactions. They ensure that everything complies with Islamic principles. The primary sources of guidance are the Quran, the Holy Book of Islam, and the Sunnah, the words and practices of the Prophet Muhammad. sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Secondary sources include scholarly consensus and analogical reasoning, which help address new financial situations that didn't exist in the 7th century. This framework is what makes Islamic finance both traditional and innovative, grounded in timeless principles but adaptable to modern needs. The next question I'm going to address is why now? Islamic finance has evolved from a niche alternative financial system into a systematically important and component of the international financial architecture. In 2025, global Islamic finance assets grew by approximately 14.9% year on year, reaching nearly $5.2 trillion dollars, compared to average single digit growth in many conventional banking markets. Islamic banking remains the largest segment, representing 72% of total assets, with financing up over 17% and deposit growing nearly 9% in 2025. The Sukuk market, like you must have heard, or Islamic bonds, also performed robustly, with global issuance exceeding $230 billion dollars in 2025. Now, so that is the big picture. But you are probably wondering what exactly is prohibited uh, in Islamic finance. Why can't you charge interest? What's wrong with uncertainty? Inshallah, in the next episode, we are going to deep into these three major prohibitions. Riba, Garar, Riba is interest, Garar, uncertainty, Maisri, gambling. Will explain what they mean, why they matter, and how Islamic finance works around them. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. See you in next episode.